prepare for a golf tournament?
Well, I hit balls maybe 20 minutes, putt a little bit, smoke 4 or 5 cigarettes, drink 3 Diet Cokes, and go to the first tee. Some days I won't even go to the range.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It's a Thursday, May 15th, another edition of the Daily Puck Drop as we are here inside the Limback Lumber Studios. We got a great show for you planned here on a Thursday. We'll talk about the M's disaster of a homestand. Mike Garafolo will join us, so probably a little closer to 10:15 today. He's on an NFL Network phone call right now. Maybe we'll get some breaking news coming up around 10:15. Brad Adam will join us, as he does every Thursday. Brad will join us, bottom of the hour, around 10:35 or so. We'll get the very latest on the Mariners. They're flying out today to embark on a 3-city, 10-game road trip. San Diego is the first stop. And what a gift for Brad Adam. As we always record with Brad in the morning, is that he gets to go to San Diego today, arrives there probably like 5 o'clock or something, 6 o'clock. They're not even doing the game tomorrow. It's Apple TV. So he has all Friday off to get after it in America's finest city, San Diego. Mitchie the Kid is back. Mitch Levy is back. It is episode 2 of the Unnamed Show. Mitch is back for his weekly appearance here on the Daily Puck Drop and Puck Sports. Now, what is going to be different this week? Because last week we played it live. Well, we recorded it in the morning. We played it during the live show, and then it was up there for everyone to watch and listen to it later. It was part of the Daily Puck Drop. Now, starting this week, just so we all are clear, once it plays during the live show here on the Daily Puck Drop, and once we are over with the Daily Puck Drop, the episode comes down. Normally, I leave it up on Twitter throughout the day, and people go back and watch on Twitter. I'll be taking it down from there, and then the episode segment with Mitch will not be a part of the full Daily Puck Drop, both audio and video. That will be separated, and it will just be for Puck's Posse members, which you, by the way, can sign up. $5 a month. That's it. And you can do that at pucksports.com. It's at the top of the webpage, or on the QR code if you are streaming the show here on Twitter and YouTube. If you are a Milch, that's not his name. If you are a Mitch Unfiltered member, you're good to go, because it will also be up on Mitch's page. And if you'd like to subscribe to Mitch, by the way, subscribe to both. It's the best of both worlds. You can do that as well. Simply just go to easiest way. You can go to MitchUnfiltered.com or go to Patreon.com/Mitchie the Kid. So there's multiple ways to do it. You can go via Mitch's page, or you can go Puck's Posse members, which, again, the easiest way to sign up is to just go to pucksports.com, and it's top of the webpage. So, again, we're kind of taking care of everyone. One, we want it to be exclusive, that we do it every week. That, again, once the show is over, it will go for those members, for Mitch's patrons, and then for my Puck's Posse members. But for those who want to watch and listen to it live, you can, and you will be able to do so every Thursday. It's just once we're off the show at 11:30, that part, it goes dark. You can always, again, watch it on YouTube, on Twitter. You can always listen to the show live as well on the Puck Sports mobile app. Download it to your iPhone and your Android phone. Just search Puck Sports mobile app. And, of course, once the show is over, everything gets posted up, again, on YouTube, Puck Sports. Please subscribe, like the channel, and leave comments. And then also on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. Just setting the expectations for everyone. I'll remind everyone as we continue to do it. It's a good one this week. Well, they're all good, but Mitch reacts to this week's Sports Bit with Sandmeyer and Matt Stretch Johnson, and we talk a little NFL scheduling and all that kind of stuff. So good show there with Mitch coming up a little bit later, probably around maybe about 11 o'clock, maybe before about 11 o'clock. We'll hear from Mitchie the Kid. Again, Mike Garafolo coming up around 10:15. And we'll get into the M's here in just a quick second. Again, we're broadcasting from the Limback Lumber Studios. Contractors, they got free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects, largest stock moldings in the Northwest. Old school service. They've been doing it since 1930. Give Limback Lumber a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Follow me on all the social media platforms. You know them all. Puck Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Puck_sports on TikTok. That's where we put all of our video clips, and then on Facebook as well. And as I mentioned before, pucksports.com. Sign up to be a Pucks Posse member. We'll get to round one of the PGA Championship, our leaderboard update brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. We'll get in that in a second. Mariners homestand as we start there. Not good for the Los Marineros. Was there in the stadium yesterday celebrating a 16th birthday for the daughter. And for the most part, it was going well. I will say this. We've never sat in these seats before. It was behind home plate, but far up, like 3 rows from the concourse. We usually sit in the bleachers. That's really where we always sit. But for some reason, we just sat back there. We want to be somewhat closer to the action, but not pay an arm and a leg. Can there be here's my rant on the games, and you can do the games any way you want, and I understand it, but can we find a section where it's the people that you sit next to, maybe they are watching the fucking game? We sat behind us was a group that was there for a work retreat. And just tech nerds, just all of them. So you could just imagine what it was. And it was nonstop for 2 hours and 40 minutes talking about work. I thought the whole thing when you go to one of these things, if you're a work retreat, is to not talk about websites and settings and building apps. And oh my God, and they were loud and it was non-stop. You couldn't almost enjoy the frickin' game having to listen to these dorks forever. Talk about stuff that I don't understand. I wanted it. I guess here's my question. Can you turn around as a fan that's there to watch baseball and say to them, hey, we're trying to watch baseball here. Can we maybe just watch the game instead of talking about work? Or is that's overstepping, right? Because they've paid money. They can do whatever they want, right? And baseball allows you to go and watch the game and not sit there and talk about baseball. Or, because that's the sport. That's the nature of it. You can sit there and have conversations about something else. So I know it's not my place to say anything, and nor should I have said anything. But God, did I want to say something. Just please shut up. Talk about anything else other than your job or what you do or where you went to school. No one cares that you went to Tufts. Okay? No one. God, it was annoying. It's just constant. There should be a section. There should be a section that says, hey, this section right here, if you sit here, you can't talk about work. That's it. You can't talk about anything. You gotta talk about the game. I don't care if you don't know the game. They didn't even know the game. What baseball? You watch baseball? No, don't watch baseball. What's your favorite? Cricket. Okay, well, it's kind of like baseball. It's just someone said it. You know what? You're right, Connor. Right. It's a total vibe killer. It really is. When you're surrounded by people and they're just there and they have no idea what's going on. That's what, Brian says that's what you get when your boss forces people to go to the game. Yeah, don't force them. I'm with you, Brian. If they don't like it, then don't send them the game. Jeff, yes, you are correct, Jeff, in our YouTube chat. Old man yelling at the clouds. 100%. 100%, Jeff. You're right. That's it. My little thing. I won't be sitting there again because I find that I don't like that area. The bleachers, for me, are the single best seat in the house. One, because it's not a seat. and it's a bleacher, and you can spread out. It's just more fun up there. Anyways, that's it. Wow, that was a bad series. And this is what was scary, just a little bit scary for those. Maybe I'm in this category too. You feel like the other shoe's going to drop with this team and this offense. And God, I hope this doesn't continue. But what it was a just scary trend of this 6 games in which they went 1-5. I get the Yankees and that could have gone differently yesterday. And they've taken 2 out of 3 of the Yankees. And you can look at glass half empty and say, well, one game, they gave up a bunch of runs. In the other 2 games, they gave up 4 runs total. If you want to look glass half full, but to go 1-5, you're a better team than Toronto. There's zero excuse for getting swept by that team. But everybody has, at least even the most positive Mariners fans, has had this in the back of their head. Well, the offense is not going to keep this up. And you're right. We've discussed this, but what's the drop-off? Like, how far is the drop-off going to be? Because it's not going to continue at this pace. And we're going to get to some other guys because now it feels like there's a real internet movement to somehow ban Ben Williamson now, which we're going to get into at some point. None of it's going to last. It's just how far were they going to drop? The team and then individual players. Polanco's not going to keep it up. All these guys are not going to keep it up. But what we saw here for the last 6 games is a reminder of an offense that is flawed. That was flawed in the offseason. You had a lot of trepidation heading into the year about not improving it, about bringing people back that weren't ready, about not adding enough to this lineup and this offensive arsenal. One thing they've been really good at this year, and a lot of credit not only goes to the players, right? The players are the one doing it, but the coaching staff, and going to Dan Wilson and to Edgar Martinez, Kevin Seitzer, and all these guys, because it does date back to last year, is this carryover of how they have attacked opposing pitchers. They've worked deeper into games. They look like a more balanced offense, and the 2 things in particular that they were doing well and have done well all season long has cut down on the strikeouts, increased their on base. And that has allowed them to see more pitches, work deeper into games, yada, yada, yada. I'm explaining baseball to people. Like, I don't need to explain it to you how it works. Thanks. But this 6 games, we went right back. Went right back to the past. Went right back to last year, the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Because they struck out 66 times in this homestand, and they walked 12. That is god-awful. And they scored 16 runs. They averaged 2.6 runs a game. So where the offense has not shown that all year long, but that was what the case was last year and the years before. It reared its ugly face this weekend, or this past week. It was just the bats were not as competitive. Way too many. Just god awful. Way too many strikeouts and not getting on base. Not drawing enough walks. And you don't score enough runs. And hey, how about that? You don't score enough runs, you lose baseball games. But that was, especially this Yankees series. When you look at how the games in which they lost, but God, it's just very reminiscent of what you saw in the past, right? 3-2 loss yesterday. Just couldn't score enough runs, early on in the game. Couldn't do enough. You look at the opportunities that they had, not a lot of opportunities anyways. And then, you have a bullpen make 2 mistakes, game over, see you later. The game that, the Wu ended up winning, which was just terrific. But again, your offense scored you, 2 runs. You had to have this brilliant pitching performance from Wu and a brilliant, job by the bullpen in order to, get that done. So I hope, like everybody else, this isn't, a sign of things to come for this team. It is a warning sign, though, a little bit, where they've got to kind of fix some things and get better. You know, the start to the season has been great for them. Unexpected because it was the offense carrying this team and not the pitching and defense. They've given themselves some wiggle room here. And they've allowed at least some breathing room to stumble here a little bit. And that's what they're in. They're stumbling, which is baseball, right? Because this sport is so damn long. Now, that gets us to, will you see Polanco come back down to earth? I mean, still hitting 324. Of course. You know, there's this big now movement with Ben Williamson, who's down to 234, and his OPS is under 600, and he looks overmatched, and he's now we've gone. This is my favorite part with Ben Williamson is we have gone from, boy, in the first week looks great, hitting the ball great, unexpected, just because, well, the knock on him wasn't that he couldn't hit. The knock on him was he didn't have power. That was the knock. He could hit, and he has hit. It's just that it's not the prototypical third baseman power and all that. One thing that was indisputable, though, was, well, his glove will travel. We've gone from the first week, 10 days, gloves better than expected, or right where we heard. The hitting's better than expected. And what a surprise. And now we can think about this guy manning the hot corner for the next 10 years. We've gone from that, like the first 10 games of the season, now here in the next 15 or so, or is it 15 or 16 that he's been up, to now he's not the answer and needs to be replaced. Hey, guys, it's not fucking football. You understand that? It's not football, where it's like each game is like, you change your opinion like one game in. Let's let the guy have a little bit more time than maybe 25 games before we decide that he's not the guy. And we've written him off. He may not be the guy. He may, again, not be the answer to third base. The point is they had no other options at this point, and I'm not defending them because they did that to themselves in the offseason with their plan of what they wanted to do with Polanco and all that. They rushed him up. Did they bring him up too early? Well, he didn't have a lot of games down there for sure. But before we just start, we've pulled the ripcord on Ben Williamson. Again, 25 games. 25 does not determine. And if anyone is making a call after 25 games, this isn't the answer. I don't know. I can't help you, because that is just such a small sample size of whether or not someone can play at the major level. I don't see how anyone, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the idiot. And listen, I've been an idiot plenty of times. I'm not going to get in the weeds on the analytics and all of that. I watch the games every night, and I don't see any problem. Not one problem whatsoever. Not one about his defense. Not an iota, not a shred of evidence would tell me he has any issue playing third base. Zero. Now, again, that's just my view, how I view it. Not looking at what any analytic numbers would tell me. I'm just saying, watching him play third, I don't get it. And I would like to really understand and hear from others, and open to hearing what they're saying, that he somehow can't play third base now. So I think way too early to overreact, to have any reaction to him. Thrust in a position they probably did not think he was going to be thrust into. But yeah, they've had a rough patch here as a baseball team. And that's just happens, and it's part of the game, and it's part of a long season that can certainly turn around. But again, I think there was maybe some unhealthy expectations that when they got off to this great start, especially offensively, we all get caught up in it, which is natural, and that's what it should be. You should get caught up in it. Was it going to be able to? I think you allow yourself to go to the place where, this is going to continue. It's going to be all year long. They're going to be doing this all the time, and wait till Julio heats up. But it was gonna drop off for a second. 2 series in a row where it hasn't looked good doesn't mean it's going to completely, fall apart and they're not going to get back to where they were before that. But it can snowball on you, and, the opponents will get better. I mean, San Diego's better. Now you can get right with Chicago because you get Chicago sandwiched in between San Diego and Houston. You certainly can feast there on the White Sox. And then you got a very important series there with the Astros. But they're still 4 games over 500. They got a 1-game lead in the West. I mean, it's all too early to start, looking at the standings. But it's never too early to look at the standings. And you're a game and a half up on the A's. So up a game on the Rangers and the Astros, and now they head out on a somewhat lengthy little road trip here. 10 games, 3 different cities. Help is on the way because the one thing that has been problematic for them is of course, the health, number one, of this pitching staff. With the decision yesterday with Bryce Miller going on the IL. But again, he goes on the IL, which again felt inevitable. We've talked about it for weeks that he just felt like he was going to be on the IL. But now with Kirby making one last rehab start Friday, likely will come back. And it sounds like, talked to Brad about it this morning. We'll play that coming up later, that the Houston series there for George Kirby. And maybe I've missed something. They've already announced that. I don't know. So he comes back for that. And then Logan Gilbert's tracking and he'll be back. So reinforcements are on the way here for this pitching staff, and it'll get better. And here, the thing I've been thinking about a lot with this team right now as they sit here with 23-19 is how would we feel? There still would be some angst with it, right? Had they be 23-19, but winning and doing it in a fashion that has helped him here, or that they've played in the last few years, where it's been about pitching and it's been about defense. And the offense has been, suspect. Like games like yesterday, they're winning games 3-2. I know they lost it, but you know what I mean. Winning games 2-1. My God, they're doing it again this year, but will it hold up? They need something from this offense. The fact is they reversed it, and at times makes me feel a little bit better. Makes me feel, not a little bit better, it does make me feel better, that they've got off to this start doing it in a way different fashion. In a fashion in which none of us thought that they would do. None of us thought that they would put up some of these offensive numbers that they were executing here in the beginning of the season. And I do think it is something that is sustainable. If we do, though, look past these last 6 games, which, again, the numbers are awful, 66 strikeouts and 12 walks, as a whole, they were great. They've been great all year long, drawing more walks, striking out less, making the starters work deeper into games. We'll have more on the Mariners coming up a little bit later in the show. Brad Adam, again, from Root Sports, brought to you by John Howie Steak. We'll stop on by. And, of course, Mitchie the Kid coming up a little bit later. He's off the call. Maybe he's got some news. We talk all things NFL every single week with our next guest. Ladies and gentlemen.
You're talking baseball. My name is Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. Nice to meet everybody. Sorry, I cut off my intro. You're talking baseball. Last year, the Mariners were the team. See, like when you watch your own team, they drive you nuts. Even
tell everyone who your team is.
The Phillies. The Phillies are my team. Where's my helmet? Is it up there?
I don't see it.
Oh, it's over there.
How's your team doing this year? You're okay.
I mean, listen. They were hot out of the gate last year, and then they cooled off. It's like the worst game. The worst. So when they lost to the Yankees, see, whenever I live in North Jersey, so I'm around Yankees and Mets fans. My best friend's a Yankees fan. We didn't talk for a week and a half when they played in the World Series. They lost the World Series to the Yankees. I was like, just furious. Like I couldn't sleep. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm a grown mortgage paying man. What am I doing? A couple years ago, they lose to the Mets in, early May, maybe even April. They had like a 7-run lead in the 9th inning, and they blew it. And I was like beyond livid, walking the kids to school in the morning with my head down. And then they went to the World Series, and the Mets were out in 3 games. So it's like, hey, what are you going to get nuts about this game? Anyway, so the Mariners last year were the team that, like, when I was I love MLB's big inning with the 4 screen. Oh, it's great. It's like red zone.
Although we need a better host.
Well, last year was Matt Yaloff, right? Now it's I don't know who it is this year.
Yeah, I think he still does it, but he's a little just kind of dry.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
whatever.
I would say the other tweak that I would make to it is even if you got to put it on a little bit of a delay, make sure the audio, and it would probably give things away. Like when Scott Hansen goes to a game and you go, all right, they're showing a punt, like something, you can tell by his voice, something big is happening. It would kind of be like that. But like a dude will hit a home run, you'll see it in the corner, and then the audio will get to him by the time the ball lands, right? Because they're doing it on the fly. I'd like the, crack of the bat, hear the whole thing from the beginning. Anyway,
Delay it a little bit. Delay it.
So the Mariners last year were the team that when I watched them, I was like, I cannot even, like, they're just like lifeless and just stupid baseball. And just like, that was the team that drove me nuts, even though I don't root for them. This year, it's the Boston Red Sox. Holy crap. Is this the least clutch team I think I've seen that's actually a decent team and one that was expected to compete? Last night, they had like bases loaded with one out, hit into a double play. Ninth inning, I think they had first and second, no outs. They couldn't get the run home. I think they even had a guy on third with less than 2 outs. It's like situational baseball and not being able to get a run home on third. It drives me nuts because it's all analytically driven and they're swinging for the fences. And it's like, who's taking and who's sacrifice. Oh my God, get back to playing baseball.
Look at you. Yeah, you're such a seaman. When do you hunker down? So is it like 5 o'clock your time? You just hunker down in front of the TV?
No, it's after the kids go to sleep.
Okay.
So it's, I mean, last night, like
what time they go to bed?
Dude, it's like later and later every night.
I mean, 8 o'clock, 8:30,
4 and 7 now. By the time they're down and out, it's 8:45 to 9 o'clock. Last night, it's like somebody today. Did you see the Knicks game? I was like, the Knicks game was over by the time my kids were asleep. Okay, I can't see these. And a lot of times I'll miss the Phillies game, so it's like I got to watch some baseball. So I watch big inning and I try to catch a lot of the West Coast teams. Jacob Wilson with the A's is like my new. He is so good. I love
the best because he's old school. He's old school. He doesn't strike out, doesn't walk, just hits all the time, and he's just unbelievable.
His batting stance reminds me. I got to check with batting stance guy on this. Hunter Pence. He is Hunter Pence for the new generation.
100%.
So the A's are
kind of like where he's like he's having he's spazzing out up there.
Yeah, the A's are fun. I like the A's. They got some fun players on that.
I love the A's because one, they're just the scrappy little team that's always thrown out. They don't spend any money. They got the best uniforms in baseball.
Well, that better change now that they're headed to Vegas, right? Like, I understand why Oakland is upset, but you had years and years to make it happen, and I understand that the owner is still. Like he's not innocent. His hands are got some blood on them. I get it. But at some point, like you just can't have, and baseball doesn't try hard enough to be the NFL to make it equitable. And I just hate seeing these teams that are.
I want to take my son out. We always do a sports trip, and I'm thinking about coming out to Philly.
Hang on, I got to close to Philly. All right, hold on a second. I got to close my office door. My daughter.
I want to watch the Phillies play.
Entertain the audience for 10 seconds. Hold on.
Yeah, you're good. Well, I can't do it for 10 seconds. I can't even do it for an hour and a half. Now you're asking me to do it for 10 seconds. That's freaking impossible to do. All right. There's no entertaining. That's at all. They're going out to the Mariners this year are playing in Williamsport. They're playing in that Williamsport Classic. They're playing the Mets on Sunday, August 17th.
Are they playing the Phillies or no?
They are. Then right after that Monday, they go in for a 3-game series with the Phillies.
When is what's the date on that?
August 18th, 19th, and 20th. We're thinking about that.
You do it. I'll make it happen.
I got to make sure with the CEO. She's going to be like, how much does it cost?
Well, me too. I'm writing a check with my mouth and my ass is going to have to
how much does it cost? Can I go? Yeah. Well, what's the plane ticket? What's this? I don't know. Can we just go and worry about it later? No.
I only have so many cards that I can, we all only have so many cards that we can play. It's like we really want to throw that pick up 4 card in Uno.
I want to see, but I really want to see him playing this Williamsport thing. I've never been there.
That sounds like a good trip you got going. So you're going to do Mets, Williamsport. Wait, who are they playing in Williamsport?
The Mets.
Oh, okay. So you'd see that game then to Philly.
Yeah.
It's a nice drive through Pennsylvania too. That's a nice part of it too.
It is. Yeah, probably not that far.
No.
All right. So are the Colts going to get reprimanded for making Tyreke Hill in the water swimming and then getting arrested by the Coast Guard? Because that was the funniest thing I saw yesterday.
That was terrific.
First
of all, I got to go back and watch some of these videos because I think so. Somebody tells me you got to go watch the Steelers one. This is when my kids are going to sleep, and so I go and I watch it, and I'm like, what are they doing? They're looking for Sasquatch. They're looking for Sasquatch, right? And I'm like, this is the.
So that's Seattle,
huh?
Is that for the Seahawks?
What?
Sasquatch?
No. The whole thing, the whole video, they were looking for Sasquatch.
The whole video.
So I watch it. I'm like, this is what I don't get. This is stupid. So I completely missed it, right? Because I started explaining this to somebody today, and they go, who didn't see the video, and goes, well, is Sasquatch Rogers? They're looking for Rogers, and I go, oh, I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good, right? So I text the guy that I was like, I watched 2 minutes. I couldn't make it through. It was horrible. But were they looking for Rodgers? And he just sent back a laughing emoji to me. And I was like, oh, that's actually pretty clever.
But the Colts one, come on.
The Colts one was but are they going to get reprimanded? No. Is somebody getting fired? Probably.
No way. That poor kid.
No, not for that. Not for that. For the trademark, the licensing violation.
That's right. Yeah.
Because the Chargers did the Minecraft thing and had disclaimer upon disclaimer, like they covered all their bases in the beginning.
And the Colts did not.
And the Colts did not. And they said in their statement, from what I saw, like we didn't have a
Tyreke Hill. If no one saw it or read about it, he's swimming in the ocean, and the Coast Guards arrest him with sirens.
Now I think Schefter tweeted that Rosenhaus told him that that Tyreke was okay, thought it was funny.
Yeah. So funny's funny. When did this be? You know what? This has become a thing. Who started it? Chargers? Rams?
I don't know. I thought, I won't say who. I thought there were a couple of duds, right?
Yeah, well, there always is. I haven't seen them all. But it's entertaining. Like, it's become a life of its own now.
Yeah. The Chargers,
like on top of actually the schedule now coming out, is this.
The Chargers have mastered it. There were, I'm forgetting. You're going to ask me which. There were a couple of Easter eggs that were like, "Oh, it's a pretty good shot." Like without the Tyreke Hill personal thing, like that's a pretty good shot at that team right there.
Sure, yeah, it's funny.
And the Giants one I remember because it was Times Square with a couple of billboards. One was for a free medium soda. Remember they got ripped for that on Fan Appreciation Day a couple of years ago. They had the terrible uniform that they wore to start the season last year, the throwback uniform.
Yeah.
And the writing underneath was like sort of cut off, and it was basically saying like it was a terrible, I forget how they indicated. And the other one was a reference to Daniel Jones. It said Daniel Jones law firm or something. I don't know, but it was just the fact that they even threw that in there was pretty good.
But this is a big day though, because people, I mean, God bless the NFL. It's every day. They make everything the biggest event in the world. I mean, you guys were all over it yesterday.
But listen, I know that we make too much of it, right? And I know that there's
but people like it. There's an appetite for it.
But hold on. I'm getting there. I also understand that there's a hypocrisy of, hey, plan your fall, but we might change some things later on, like right up against it when you already made all your reservations and everything. Yeah. Which John Mara is. One of the guys who was like, we're putting our fans out by flexing already on Sundays. Now we're flexing the days of the game and whatever.
Yeah,
they rarely do that. But I understand where he's coming from on that one. And they want the best matchups. So anyway, I understand that. But today, when you wake up and you start to look at it and it's a real thing and you go, well, this team could get hot. Right. And I like the first 4 games, winnable games there. Like New England, to me, I think New England's in the playoff conversation. And you look at their schedule. Seriously, I mean, you look at their schedule and the way it lines up, and you know Vrabel's going to coach him up, and you know Josh McDaniel's going to have him going offensively, and you know that they've gotten better just by the moves that they've made this season. They're an intriguing team. All of a sudden, they're back into the conversation. There's only a select few teams. Like I think it's going to be a world of hurt for the Saints this upcoming season. I think the Browns are in trouble. Like you can pick the teams that are. Although the Saints schedule actually does line up pretty easily for them, so it's hard to see them getting only like 3 wins. You also can't predict who's going to have the devastating injury that's going to have them fall off a cliff. That was the thing with the Colts, which looked great for a while when they went from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck because Manning had the neck issue, and all of a sudden they were the worst team in the league when Andrew Luck was coming out. It's like they were going to have until Luck retired. 40 years of uninterrupted, amazing franchise quarterback play. So, yeah, we'll see.
When's the last time, can you recall, maybe it's happened recently, where the number one pick in the draft doesn't have a primetime game? Right? The Titans don't have one, right?
Well, I think Bryce Young only. I'd have to check this, but I remember because I covered the Thursday game.
Maybe a Thursday night game.
It was, but they used to have a requirement that you had to have a Thursday night game. They don't have that anymore. It's also, and if the Titans fans are out there, I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. It's a fact. It's not up to me. This is a team that is looked down upon from a sizzle standpoint. Always has been, even when they were good. And I know you're sensitive about it. And you have every right to be. I get it. It's not like it's sometimes you can talk about the size of the market. Like Green Bay is the smallest market in the league, but it's got the history, and it's always going to be part of the conversation. As long as they're not terrible, they're going to be part of the conversation for premier games that they should have, in large part because they've had great quarterbacks. So maybe Cam Ward will help lift the franchise, but Tennessee, Jacksonville, these are the markets that struggle to get into the conversation, even on NFL Network, although we've talked plenty of Jaguars lately. So, yeah, I get it. I'm sorry, Titans fans. It's kind of just the way it is.
I mean, it's like Seattle. I mean, Seattle gets. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if they're deserving of it. Maybe they are. But I understand 4 primetime games. But it's they have a history of their games always being entertaining on primetime. And there is a great backdrop of that stadium and the city and all of it, that it looks good on television.
One of your prominent figures of the franchise over the last 20 years did mention to me at one point, like, we always thought Doug Baldwin, like, how is he not a star? Like, he should be a national star, and he really isn't. And there are other guys that they reference. I said, well, you got your Richard Shermans, and you had your Russes during that time. Like, you can only have so many. But the thought was that we're kind of tucked away up there in the corner, and we don't get quite the that word sizzle that other teams get.
Well, I mean, but so far they got the Arizona Thursday night. 2 Thursday night games? Yeah, because they got the Cardinals and then the Rams Monday night game, and then the Sunday night game with Washington. I'm going to tell you, I was looking at the where's it at? Where did I write it down? The Christmas lineup is just sensational. Is it the Christmas lineup?
Denver, Kansas City is the nightcap. Minnesota, it's divisional games early, right?
Yeah, it's Dallas at Washington, Detroit at Minnesota, Denver at Kansas City. I mean, they just want it. They want everything on Christmas. They're like, don't talk to your family.
Yeah,
don't do anything because we're going to give you everything.
They don't care. They don't care about that. They don't care about the NBA's feelings. They don't.
No,
they care about one thing.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Thanksgiving. I mean, even Thanksgiving. Green Bay at Detroit, Kansas City at Dallas.
Kansas City at Dallas. Like, because we've had some clunkers when it comes to Dallas. And Dallas might stink.
Yeah, I don't think those are two huge fan bases.
Right. And as long as Dak is healthy and you're not losing the wide receivers, there'll be enough there that, like, they could give them a game, even if they're not in playoff contention at that point. I happen to think that they made the Cowboys the opener against the Eagles, because usually it's like, we'll save that game for later because we know that that's going to draw eyeballs.
Yeah.
I happen to think that they used that game there because they said, well, if we save it for later, who knows what we're going to get from Dallas, so we might as well play that card right off the bat. They did that a couple of years ago. It was the year after COVID, and the Cowboys were on the Buccaneers slate, and I was like, wow, I can't believe they used that Cowboys game right out of the gate. Like, Cowboys Brady in week 6 would have drawn eyeballs. I think it was at that point a message of, like, the NFL is back, full stadiums, and we're going right out of the gate with a great matchup. I think they sort of did that now by saying, like, we need to use that right now because who knows, maybe later on it won't be that sexy.
It's a bunch of international games. Did they? I missed it. Did they announce who the Chargers are playing in Brazil?
Yes, they announced it last night, right before the schedule dropped. Who are they playing? I forgot already. Hold on.
I can probably.
They're playing the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
That's right. I knew that because apparently Kelsey's worried about the humidity. I think I saw somebody post about that.
Gotta be. I mean, what exhausting for them. I mean, they got to play in Brazil. I get it. They're making a lot of money and they're popular, but Brazil, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah. Well, last year was the year that they played every day of the week except for Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
They played Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Wednesday was Christmas. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, is there anything the Vikings are playing the Steelers in Dublin, and then the next week they play in London.
Mm-hmm.
Is this testing? Are they testing
No.
this at all, you think?
No, I
see
just
if this
think
could work if they went international with an international like division.
no, I mean, because they've sort of done that with the Jaguars, right? And now the Jaguars are only playing one over there. So I still think we're just a long way away from that. And I know that there's United's got this jet that they're going to be like the Concorde, be able to fly. I don't know when that's coming out, but you got to be able to get that down to, which I don't even know why. Why did they get rid of the Concorde?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That we have this Concorde that could go like from New York to London in like an hour. I don't know.
It was like 4 hours or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, and that was like in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now we don't have that anymore. Like, where did that go?
Yeah. Phil Collins played both ends. I believe it was him, played both ends of Live Aid. He played in London, and then because of the Concorde, he was able to do that. So
where is that at? Let's bring it back.
Apparently they are finally. Now it's got to be an economics thing, right? It has to have been like that thing was too expensive because again, you only care about one thing.
It's true. Now, do you get any assignments for this stuff, these international games? And have you put in your name for Madrid?
Yes, I have. How do you know?
Because who doesn't want to go to Madrid, Spain?
Well, I've got family over there.
Okay.
And they're not watching, so I'll just lay it out for you. It's hard to go over there with all the kids and all, and we hadn't gone since my daughter was born, so we went recently in between free agency and the draft. And it was a rush because I could only do so many days, so it was like this rushed trip. And I was like, look, I'll put in for the Madrid game. I'll get you tickets, hopefully, and you meet us there, right? Like, because they don't live in a big city, so like meet us in Madrid. You stay in your hotel. I'll get you a hotel. I don't care. I'll stay in my hotel. You stay in your hotel. And that'll count for a visit that I don't have to make later. Okay,
so did you get it? I mean, when you find out, is it like a lottery? How do they do this?
I don't know. I push for all the insiders to go. Of course, Pellicero, Mr. Logistics, had to be like, well, the show's going to be at 1 a.m. in Spain. Shut up, man. Who cares? Like,
just
that's the way. But that's the way that they live their lives over there anyway. They're at the bars until midnight, 1 a.m., so it's not going to be any different. We'll just adapt to the culture.
You'll be having dinner at 10 o'clock at night.
You'll be having a tortilla, which I had. Damn it, I just realized I didn't get it. So we were over there a couple of years ago, and my sister-in-law lives in a town called La Coruña, which is in the northwest portion of Spain. It's actually closer to Portugal than it is to Madrid, which is why we flew to Portugal this year and then drove from there. But they have a bacalao tortilla in one of these places. Oh my! It was like the greatest thing I've ever eaten. You familiar with the bacalao, the dried fish? Sure. Which is most people hate it, and the Italians try to cook it, and it's just. But this was in it. It was so good. And I forgot to get it. I mentioned it, and then nobody made it happen for me. It's like my second trip there in a row. It didn't happen.
I had something similar when we were in Venice last summer. But what do they call it? It's a similar name. It might actually be similar.
Bacalao. In America, bacala. That's what they say here in Jersey.
Good. Oh, man, it was good.
But it depends how you make it, right? With my family, it's a Christmas Eve soup type deal.
It's like spread on like bread or something.
Oh, you were talking about something else.
Well, maybe I'm okay. Yeah.
Is it anchovies that you're talking about? Maybe.
No. It was like a dried salted like fish that they.
That's bacalao. That's what they do to it. Yeah, they come in these big flat like things.
But they whipped it with something.
Well, whipped it. Well,
whipped it with like some type of like. I don't know if it was mayonnaise.
So growing up Italian, it's like I'll bacalao you, meaning I'll hit you with the salted cod because it's firm and it's just. Yeah.
We've covered it all. Hey, are the NFL players, you tweeted about it this morning, the push and the reality that they get to play flag football in the Olympics?
Yeah.
It's going to happen?
It's going to happen. There's no way they put that out there without the understanding. I think it's good for everybody, right? I mean,
if you're an owner, you want that?
Yeah,
you want your guy playing in the Olympics?
I don't want to say it, right? Because we had the Robert Edwards was the running back for the Patriots that years ago, but that was on a beach, right? It was beach flag football, if I recall correctly. This is at least going to be on grass. It's going to open it up to one of those injuries, and if it happens, it's going to be bad, right? It's going to be awful.
Part of life,
but
though.
The reward is, or the reward, I should say, is that the game's on a global stage. They're really pushing the flag football thing as a way to kind of make the game safer for youth kids and still be involved. And it's going to be enjoyable. I mean, a chance to win a gold medal, which is not something that
the ratings are going to be through the roof.
Yeah,
for this.
Yeah.
Who's the U.S.'s biggest challenger? Who do we got?
See,
who would it be?
So if you do it based on, like, Mexico is good for the women. Like, there may be flag football teams and countries out there that we don't. And to get these guys to play, you would think, like, Tyreke, you just throw them on a flag football field.
Yeah, but there's also Americans that can say that I'm I'm Italian. I've got Italian. Enough heritage I can play there.
Yeah, there'll be loopholes, but they're going to be the guys that aren't as good as, because if they were that good, they would play for the U.S. So I assume you're going to have a little bit of that. Like, O.C. Umenyiora, I remember with the Giants, the pass rusher, he was in London for most of his youth, and before that was so he could have claimed, Britain. He could have claimed Africa, where he was from. Which country was he from? Nigeria, maybe. So yeah, he could have a little bit of that for sure.
Be very cool. It's 3 years away, 2028, right? That's in L.A. So
it is in L.A. My kids want to go. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen.
Oh, we got 3 years to decide.
Well, they want to see the gymnastics, so they're into Simone Biles, because Simone Biles' husband is Jonathan Owens, who plays for the Bears. He's represented by Sonny Shaw, that's his agent. Sonny is a buddy of ours. His daughter is in the same class as my daughter, so she gets to go hang out with Simone all the time. And my daughter's like, "Oh, that's awesome! Let's go see Simone. Like, let's call Sonny."
Do it again?
Huh?
She gonna do it again?
Who? Simone?
Yeah,
I would assume so. Right? She got one more left in her. Dude, they showed her on Hard Knocks the year that was with the Bears, and he was watching her, which I guess was last year, right? So they're both climbing a rope, and he's doing it normal style. She's got legs out, L-sit, alien, man.
They're just,
that's not human.
They are the strongest group of athletes in the world.
Unbelievable.
Those gymnasts. All right. Great stuff as always. Enjoy the rest of your day. One of these days, one of these visits, play golf. I want the golf course one.
Off season. I got to schedule it for a Thursday. I haven't played yet. I've
play.
Matter of fact, I may even go to the range today.
Do it for you. Get on the range and then sit back down. No M's game to watch tonight on your big inning. Day.
Today's a light. I looked at it. Today's a light day in MLB and a bunch of afternoon games too. So, yeah.
Enjoy it, Mike.
See you.
Yes, there he is, Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. He's always brought to you by Hartley & Hartley Insurance, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Honesty, fairness, integrity. Contact Jamie Hartley, 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, and catch the game. Check out Zogs on Facebook and Instagram for their fall hours. How about their summer hours and event times? All right. This is gonna be a long show today. We're a little late to get to Mike. That's okay. We still got Mitchie the Kid, his weekly appearance coming up. But first, we got to get you caught up on more baseball. Brad Adam joins us weekly as we talk a little M's baseball. He's headed out on a road trip. He's going back to his home city, his hometown of San Diego. Later this afternoon. Brad Adam, all brought to you by John Howie Steak. And gentlemen, it's that time of week. We got to talk more baseball with our guy, Brad Adam from Root Sports. He's the anchor of Root Sports and Old School Fox Sports Net. Now, we can't talk to him without our guy, John Howie. There it is. Look at these people having fun at John Howie Steak. It's just good times at John Howie.
Look at that. They all look like that too. When you go, they all look like that.
They do. They're all having a good time. They're enjoying cocktails, world-class steaks, world-class environment. The only place you can get all that world-class environment, food, drinks, is at John Howie Steak. Did you know this? Voted #1 restaurant in Seattle by readers of Seattle Magazine. Yes, of course you did.
I did do that.
They've got a classic steakhouse, best selection of hand-cut steaks, John Howie Steak has maintained a best of award excellence from Wine Spectator for the past 17 years. All right? That's what that is what you are getting at John Howie Steak. Also, right next door, Whiskey by John Howie features global selections of rare and well-done whiskeys, something for everyone. Also, Whiskey offers a chef-driven menu with fun, elevated bar food, signature items from John Howie Steak, shareable plates, unique creations, perfect for pairing with cocktails or rare pours. You know what is a rare pour? Brad Adam from Roots Tours. He's a rare pour.
Oh, it's an acquired taste. But once you have that,
yes, you are.
But once you do, it's like, right?
Once you get a little taste of Brad Adam,
once you get there,
man.
Yeah.
Was
Here
that the game Wednesday? Didn't have time to come by and say hi. Didn't have time.
How do you not have time? I have other people come by. You have to have time.
We were in and out because it's
Diamond Club.
No, not this time.
Okay.
God, I really wish.
I can't believe you still go if it's not Diamond Club.
That's what my wife said.
You just
we weren't too far removed from it, like behind home plate, but up by the concourse.
Yes,
up there, and she just kept looking down, going,
"What are they getting?
Man, does that look nice? Remember when we were there?
They got a little waitress there giving them food. Yeah."
You will appreciate this with daughters. We celebrated. We celebrated 16th birthday yesterday on Wednesday. So we took the kids out of school. Part of the celebration was to go to a baseball game. It was a day long celebration. My daughter hates surprises, by the way.
Oh,
hates them.
Did she want to go to the game, or was that you?
Well, yeah, eventually. Yeah. She's a big baseball fan. She's like, oh, but initially was like, I kind of wanted to stay in school so I could see all my friends. I'm just like.
And have everybody say happy birthday.
And have everyone say happy
Bring her
birthday.
Presents and stuff.
But eventually we got in, and it was great.
Did you stay for the Judge home run?
We had left early because she had to get she had an event after school that she had to get to. So I missed that. But boy, I saw it.
Oh my goodness, Puck. Oh,
should be illegal.
Goodness.
Should be illegal to hit the ball that hard.
Should be. And I read today it's the hardest hit ball at T-Mobile since they started doing the StatCast.
Since they started doing StatCast in 2015, the hardest hit ball, 117 miles per hour.
It was one of those, the home runs, like when you get a no doubter and the outfielder maybe takes a step and just looks. Randy and Julio didn't even move. Mm-mm. It was amazing to watch them. Not even a courtesy step. It was just.
He is just a mountain of a man. Like you
begin with, yes.
You just don't get a full appreciation of Aaron Judge until you see it in person of just how enormous he is.
Yeah, 6'7", 280. I mean, think who, like the biggest, like Julio's good size, but Nelly Cruz was kind of obviously a big man. But, Judge has got 4 inches on him and probably 30, 40 pounds. And he looks good. I mean, he's perfectly proportioned. He runs well.
Yeah.
He chased a little bit and struck out a few times in the series, but my goodness, man.
You can't hold a player you can't hold a player like that down. And you know what the thing about him is? He's a real unassuming superstar.
Yes.
I mean, he's not cocky or brash or he's kind of low key.
Right. Not looking for the spotlight like Trout. Those kind of guys were just, they try to market these guys and they're just, have no real interest in being, out in front of the cameras or on social media or anything,
I also don't think he's off-putting, though. I don't think
not at all. Not at all.
I don't think he's not wanting to do anything. I mean, he's in the biggest media market that you can possibly be in for an athlete. But I've always been struck by how he's never. I don't think he has never been crossed by the media. He's never gotten angry at the media that I can't remember. Maybe there's an incident that someone's going to bring up, but.
I don't remember. Talking with Dave Sims, great to see him come back doing the radio for the Yankees. And he says Judge is great. He doesn't talk necessarily every day, but certainly knows his role. And when they lose 2 or 3 in a row, he knows that he's going to be the one to talk to, or at the end of a trip, he's going to be the one to talk to. So he's very good about that. And Dave says all those Those guys just get it. But I think you're right. I think in New York, you have to get it, or else you're just going to be eaten alive.
Exactly right.
Oh my gosh!
If you don't get it, it's over.
Right.
I mean, I think probably similar to a degree in Boston and probably Philadelphia, but New York, yeah. If you just don't buy in, you're out. You're out immediately.
Yes,
they'll never forgive you, and they'll never, you can never turn it around. It's hard.
Right, because they'll just be negative and just crush you. Exactly. So,
well, not the finest of homestands, and I want to know who we blame. Now, I have someone I want to blame. I have
first.
Okay, hold on. But this is going to be uncomfortable for you. 1-5 on the homestand. Have you looked at the numbers of strikeouts to walks? No, not you.
Offensively? Or
66 strikeouts, 12 walks, 16 runs, 2.6 runs a game. Man.
Yeah.
That is not good.
No,
I have someone to blame.
Give it to me.
Sarah, the new reporter.
She went 1-1.
Wasn't she there for the whole homestand?
No.
I just don't know. She gave a bad vibe.
To be fair, she was. To be fair, she shadowed Jen the first Yankee game.
Yeah, well,
they lost that one. So she went 1-2. You're right. Okay,
I don't blame the players. I don't blame the coaches. I don't blame anybody else. It's Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. Sarah, you're gonna have to wear this one.
And she'll be back in a couple of weeks, and we'll remind her.
We're gonna leave you out there for 130 pitches next time. Wear it for the entire team.
Yeah, numbers were not good, and it was somewhat surprising because Toronto's not necessarily a strong team, bullpen that's not very good. You figure they could score against them, and the Yankees have got some injuries like the Mariners due to their rotation. So you're thinking that they could get, more than 3 runs a game against them.
The guy on Wednesday was terrible.
But he has 9 strikeouts. Yeah,
I know, but he was
Whitman or
Warren. They should have murdered that guy.
Yes,
I watched him. He probably threw at least 10 pitches that landed 4 feet in front of home plate.
Yeah, a lot of sweepers and sliders spiking. Yes.
God.
I know. 15 strikeouts.
That guy alive.
Yeah, 15 strikeouts, just 5 hits for these guys. It's I don't want to say it reminds us of the last couple of years, but those last 2 games were very Mariner games. To win it 2-1 and 11, and then to lose it 3-2 late like that, just you're hoping for a rally, and Luke Weaver comes in, their closer, because Devin Williams, their big free agent acquisition, has been terrible. So Luke Weaver, the former Mariner starter, comes in and just, after throwing 2 innings the night before, comes in and throws a perfect ninth and strikes out the side. That just kind of sums up the series a little bit. We got a little strobe light going in here.
What's good?
Turn that off
for the viewers. Yeah, well, he's in a.
Or maybe it's just me. Is it me?
He's in a disco. Well, it's been a long season for you, sir. It's been a long season. Yeah, it was a bad homestand. I mean, just chalk it up to that.
And everybody's kind of, as good as the offense was, Puck, we all knew that it was not going to last like that. They weren't going to score 6 runs a game. Polanco's not going to hit 390. Ben Williamson's not going to hit 300. So, they're coming back down to earth a little bit. I think they're still fine. They're still in first place, which is great. That's how the early fast start really helped them, because you're going to have these bad stretches, but if you kind of weather them and keep going, and they've got that 1-game lead, which is great. I don't love the injuries to the rotation like everybody else, but just stay afloat, until everybody gets back, and just keep grinding.
We felt that one was coming, though, on Miller. We've talked about that a lot.
Yes.
We just felt it was coming.
Like
it just was.
Right? Yeah, he just kept complaining. It just never felt good. So, elbow inflammation. So, cortisone shot, rested a little bit. He should, you'd like to think he'd be pain-free, and hopefully that loosens him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think Kirby, he goes Friday night with Tacoma. If that goes well, which, again, we're all assuming it will, I believe that he will join the team and pitch in Houston on the road trip. So
do you think it will be? I was looking at that. You think it's Houston, or is it the
White Sox is in between. I think you and I could pitch against the White Sox.
Well, but we give them a little soft land, but give them a little. No, we could not. We could not.
To be honest, I
think I can bring it in at about 48 right now.
And like Leo Rivas the other night, just
did he hit 47?
I think he did. No runs, right?
Okay, was that his fastball?
Sure. I mean, he just.
No, I'm
sure.
serious. I don't know because like I got little league kids. They throw it harder than that.
I know he wasn't even trying.
Okay,
that's a good question. If he goes Friday,
so if he goes Friday, he'd have
be
1, 2, 3.
They're going to keep a six man with him, or give him an extra day. So he would have to go.
So if they give him an extra
Thursday
day, it would
Friday.
be the first game against Houston.
Yeah, Houston. So I'm thinking it's going to be Houston.
What do you do with Woo? Because don't they like him on an extra day?
They do if they can. They got an off day today, so they'll push everybody. So everybody get an extra day.
So he goes. He pitched Tuesday, right?
So he would go Sunday. So he'll probably go Monday. He gets. I think he gets the first White Sox game.
So not against San Diego. There was some thought that maybe you would pitch him against San Diego. Okay.
No, San Diego gets Evans, Hancock.
Yeah.
And I don't know who
I think Hancock would be the finale. I think it's up in the air who's in between, but well, whatever.
That's not going to be an easy series to say the least. Padres are obviously good, and they're very good at home.
Yeah,
it's a really good atmosphere, and I was talking to Logan Evans about that yesterday. He's fired up for it. He likes big crowds. It'll be over 40,000 people. It's an Apple game on Friday.
Oh, that means you get to sit back and get hammered.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. This is your stomping ground, sir.
Yes, it's going to be fun. I got buddies.
You got to turn it loose. Come on. Let's rewind it back to Brad Adam at 21, 22.
Come on.
Walking,
wow.
Surveying the gas lamp district on the prowl.
Here we go. Right.
Before you met your beautiful bride.
Oh,
walking around town.
Little
collar shirt flipped up.
Yep, little longer hair, probably jeans rolled up.
Jeans rolled up. And probably just got out of, maybe a morning surf at PB. Come on.
Unbutton a little bit. Yeah.
Sure, of course unbuttoned a little bit.
Where's ladies' night?
Where's ladies' night? Where do I get my 32-ounce Long Island iced tea?
It might happen. 9:08 tea time on Friday, my friend.
Torrey Pines?
No, I didn't get Torrey. We got up to somewhere Rancho Bernardo.
Bernardo.
So my buddies and I.
Sounds like something.
That sounds nice. It's going to be fun.
Hey, have you met my neighbor? Yeah, it was Rancho Bernardo. Okay, Rancho Bernardo. All right.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
So what will you do on Friday? You don't have to work because it's an Apple game. Do you go to the game? What do you do?
Depends. Depends on where the night leads me.
I can't wait to see Saturday. The bags under your eye.
It's like a 5:40 game too on Saturday.
Weird start time.
Yeah, so I get
that's even better.
Lose an hour of sleep.
Okay, fine, but the game's over at
I know
maybe 8, and you are rolling right back into the gas lamp. You're gonna pick up with your buddies after playing Rancho. What are you playing? Rancho Bravado.
Bernardo.
Couple of high noons on the course.
Let's go.
Take it right into the evening.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I've set it all up for you.
You did well.
Do you have a spot that you like to go to? Just real quick, and then I'll get off San Diego. Is there a spot that when you go back to San Diego, for those who don't know, that's where Brad went to school?
Right. Nothing around campus anymore. I don't know if those little bars are around there. Just Gas Lamp is good.
But is there a spot? Is there like one spot? When I go back, I can't wait to go there.
For food, I really enjoy the Blind Burro, which is
Blind Burro.
Really good margaritas, really good Mexican food.
Where's that
is a fun bar. Oh, I couldn't tell you the exact streets. It's right in the middle of the Gas Lamp. It's great. Bubba's Bar after games is really fun. There's a really good pizza place. I think it's called like Just Pizza. It's like really, that's it. That's in that little street behind the lawn seating that they have there at Petco outside center field.
Okay.
That street out there, Just Pizza is really good.
Sure.
You really can't go wrong, though.
Come on.
They used to have my favorite was Tin Fish, which was right next door to the hotel, which great fish tacos. But the name is changed, and the menu's changed a little bit, so it's not quite the same.
Okay.
But if you're out and about, like Rubio's is always a good, solid fish taco. In-N-Out's always solid,
Okay.
But
come on, we're not good. Come on.
Come on.
You can get In-N-Out all the time.
Not really. I mean, you got to go different few cities and states have it.
Yeah,
you know?
but
I
I
know
mean,
I know
come
what you
on,
mean.
come on,
Yeah.
let's go. All right.
And then Dick's Last Resort is a really good one too.
Dick's
One of those
last resort.
It's like kind of a steak place where the waiters are really rude to you, kind of part of the shtick. Yeah,
That's who doesn't want that.
Yeah, exactly.
like something. I don't know about other people. I love when people are rude to me when I go and pay my money to them.
Yeah,
it's really,
that's part of the deal.
Fires me up. Yes, can you please be an asshole to me as I give you my money?
Mock me as I order.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Well, can they turn it around, or is this now signs of things to come?
Yeah, good question. I think that obviously they weren't as good as they were. They're not. I don't think they're this bad. They're going to be in between. You know, it's going to be up and down. It's going to be, I think, some nights like we saw, struggle to score. When they don't pitch well, it's going to be hard to win. You know, when they did pitch well, like Will and Castillo pitched really well, you know, just one earned run between the two of them, they're going to be in every game. But that's, again, a lot of pressure to put on the pitching staff, which they did all last year.
Sure.
But now, you know, as we saw, we talked about it before, like they were healthy all last year. It's not going to happen 2 years in a row.
Right.
So you just hope that they can kind of withstand these guys being down and, you know, piecing it together with a Diaz and Evans and Hancock for a while, just until these guys get back, until Robles gets back, till, you know, the All-Star break, and maybe they add and figure some things out. But I just think with the way the West is, you know, Mariners 1-game lead, Texas with our good buddy Brett Boone, the hitting coach, you know, has won 5 in a row, but they played the Rockies. So, you know, and the Astros are the Astros. You wonder if they're going to be able to turn it on and become the Astros, or are they really kind of on a down cycle? So it'll be an interesting series in Houston for those 4 games. But I think the Mariners are in good shape. You know, I think, like I said, the early season success has set them up to withstand some bad series like this. So I just think it'll be, you know, kind of like this. You know, it'll be a close race, and I think they'll be in it all year.
Yeah. Because there is really no one in the division that is going to probably pull away. I mean, and that's kind of what you're alluding to. There's not one team yet that really will separate themselves. This probably will be like this all season long. But I do think it goes back to, you know, one thing that you get a little leery of with this series is because the offense was so unexpected, right? Had they had this record right now, but it was because of their pitching and defense,
right? Which
is where they've been. You'd be like, okay, I expect this,
right?
You did not expect this, what they're doing offensively, and I think you just have this. There's just this little person that's sitting on your shoulder telling you right now, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. You know, it's not going to last.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. But now they're going to have to, you know, find a way to score in San Diego, right? Not too worried about Chicago, and then find a way to score and figure things out in Houston, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't, you know, it's just, you know, when you play your division, it's the games are a little bigger, especially when you play Houston, a team that's won the division, I don't know, 6-7 years in a row.
Sure.
But speaking of that, though, you know, the sneaky team is those A's, man.
Oh, well, yeah. We've talked about that.
Yeah, they're not bad. And if they were to add, which they usually don't, but if they got another pitcher, I mean, I like their lineup. I mean, I love the A's. They're pretty good. Yeah, it's like maybe they can. So I don't know. It'll be an interesting race for sure this year.
I think the A's are the team that probably scares me the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worries you a little bit playing in that park. Maybe they get hot there.
It's just
the A's.
They're there, and I just feel like if they've shown at least a willingness in this offseason to be a little bit more aggressive.
Right.
So, you know, would they be more in terms of spending?
Right.
Would they be more aggressive at the deadline now?
Right. And if they really are going to Vegas, which I still don't know if they are, they need to keep spending. Right. They need to be a draw. So they need to understand that. And then I think they do. I mean, they had to spend the offseason.
Right.
But yeah, that would be scary if because they got a closer, they got the offense, they got a few starters. But yeah, that would be a team that would be, you know, because, you know, that park's going to play to their factor because teams go in there and like I was saying, it's just like it's just not a major league feel, you know. So guys, it's just a different feel for the visiting team, you know. Once the A's get used to that and use it to their advantage, maybe that helps them. So I don't know. It'll be a fun season, though. Make sure you just keep watching on Root Sports, man. It's going to be a fun season.
Listen,
right?
But again, if I see Sarah, I'm out.
Fair.
Just joking. I don't want to say Sarah. I'm joking.
I bet she's a fan of the show. I bet she watches our podcast.
loves the show. What do we know about Bryce Miller? I know we talked yesterday. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but 15-day IL, elbow inflammation. The MRI showed no structural damage. We're hopeful. We're good.
Yes.
He thinks he feels okay about it.
He does. Yes. Okay. Cortisone shot is going to feel good. Okay. Rest up a little bit. And he's already talking about what he's been told and what they've talked about. Said, hey, 15 days, you'll be good to go. Okay. So that's nice.
And we talked about George Kirby. We feel he'll be back. Likely Houston, if all goes well, Friday. Logan Gilbert. He appears to be okay and on track and ready to contribute and ready to get back as soon as possible.
Yes, his last bullpen was good, 25 pitches, up to 95 mile per hour, threw them all, so he's feeling good. Now he's, what the next step would be, but maybe facing some live hitters. He's going to have to go out a few times, some rehab starts, but it's kind of like a spring training ramp up, so I'm thinking, if everything goes well for him, you're looking at like 3 weeks. Maybe they slow play a little bit for 4 weeks, but, what are we in mid-May? So, definitely, hopefully mid-June or so. So, so Kirby will be back. He'll be back. I think Kirby and Miller should be back before Gilbert. So then you get all those 3 guys back, start rolling a little bit. So
it's going to be interesting to see what they do at the deadline. Never too early to talk about it. They clearly will look at options with bats and all that, like every team, but will they, how aggressive, I'm going to be curious what they're going to do with pitching.
Yeah, we've already seen that you need, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 starters for the year, right?
Sure.
So would they get another one, or they feel pretty good if everybody's back and Hancock's your 6th? Do you feel good with that? They might. I think that, like we talked about, they're another arm in the pen.
Yeah.
A veteran guy, a high leverage guy, an 8th inning guy. No offense to these guys, but they, like, Vargas just hasn't been there. And he's pitched really well. Yeah. Carlos has done really well this year. But, you had to have him yesterday in the 8th. And, Judge Homer, maybe you walk
What do you think about that decision? I know there's been, in the past they would have, in the past they would have done, there's that. In the past they would have probably gone to Munoz there.
Correct.
But this is not, but Dan Wilson doesn't do that.
Well, or a Brash.
Sure.
But he pitched the night before.
But Brash wasn't available.
Right. So, and Thornton's not available, and Inspire pitches. So it's like, who do we have, right? That's where I think they need one more guy to get to Munoz. I think they're pretty committed, maybe is the word, to just use Munoz in the 9th. Yeah. And in safe situations, if you can't, but then sometimes you might have to do extras. But I think that they saw, with his shoulder, his ankle, his back last year, he was battling these injuries, and it wasn't available sometimes. Sometimes he'd be down 3-4 days. So I think this year the thought is, hey, let's just keep him the 9th, and we can use him more, hopefully, and he can be more effective because he's using him more. And he was available yesterday too. So he would have gone back to back. So
I like it.
It's working. Yeah.
I don't mind that strategy. I like that strategy. I agree with you. I think I would have walked him.
I would have. You don't want to put the winning run on base, but
I hear you. But
who's behind him? Bellinger hasn't really hit much.
I just he's the most feared hitter in baseball, and
right.
And I think to have Vargas go up against him, I would have taken. I agree with all what you're saying. Yeah, do you put the winning run on base? Sure. It's not. It's unconventional. And we got Bellinger coming up, and then Volpe and Dominguez. But I'd rather take my chances with those guys.
Right. I think that'll happen a lot. This guy's got a 500 on base. Think about that. 500 after like 42 games, like a fourth of the year, which, it's not like a hot week or even 20 games, which would be amazing. 42 games and he's got a 500 on base, hitting 410 or 412, whatever. Yeah. So, but you second guess a lot, I know.
Well, of course, but that's everybody's second guesses. That's what you're supposed to do. All right, we're not going to second guess. I want full updates. What you're doing Friday. I want the golf update, and then I want to know Like, are we meeting up with college buddies? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, we've got 3. Actually, they're high school and college. We all went to state, so 3 high school buddies and then college buddies.
Yeah. This is going to get out
and the
of
gas
hand.
lamps.
Can you expense this
stuff?
Tonight
too. We start tonight, and then
that's
golf.
right, because you're flying
tonight.
out. Yeah,
and golf and tomorrow. Can we expense? We sometimes we get creative and expense some things.
So Thursday actually. Tonight's the big night because you don't got to do anything tomorrow.
Well, I got the 9 o'clock tea time. So
so you'll roll right into golf and then wake up with a breakfast Paloma.
Exactly, and then keep it going.
Or a Greyhound. I go Greyhound, actually.
Oh, Bloody. My buddy makes a really good Bloody Mary.
Okay.
He brings those to the course.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll hit that.
This is
going to be good. And then Friday night.
Bachelor party is what this is. Oh, Lord. God. And you get paid for this.
A mid-50s bachelor party.
Man,
so we'll probably be done by like 10 o'clock.
You have really, really lucked out on this one. I was racking my brain. I'll send you the link. You don't have to go. I don't know if you ever been there. My favorite restaurant down there is right by. It's kind of close to the zoo. What that neighborhood is called? What's that neighborhood called?
What is it? It's not.
I'll think. Whatever. It's right by the zoo. Anyways, Barrio Star. Barrio Star. Great restaurant.
Well, I think we're gonna go a Little Italy too for dinner. Mario Star. What is it? What kind of restaurant?
Mexican.
Okay.
So good.
Good down there, isn't it?
It's all good. I mean, you stumble into any of them. So, all right, enjoy yourself. Have fun, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Brad.
You got it. Thank you.
There he is, Brad Adam, our weekly visit with Brad, talking all things Mariners baseball. What a gig for him. Headed to San Diego later today. All right, we got Mitch Unfiltered coming up here momentarily. Again, as we'll repeat this here on the Daily Puck Drop, our weekly visit with Mitchy the Kid, Mitch Unfiltered podcast, will always appear in the live portion of the show here on the Daily Puck Drop, but once the show is over, normally it'll be 11:30. It's going to be a late one today. It will then only be available for Mitch Unfiltered patrons, or if you are a Puck's Posse member, you can also sign up on Patreon for a Puck's Posse membership. The best way to go is just simply go to pucksports.com and sign up there. QR code on your screen will take you there as well. Just $5 a month. But before we get to Mitchy the Kid, we got to give you a round 1 leaderboard update from the PGA Championship. Puck the Picker Majors Pool is back, brought to you by syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Tired of that muddy backyard? Look at this beautiful backyard. Look how pretty it looks with that 3-hole putting green. Tired of the cost of watering your lawn? Synthetic Turf Northwest is pet friendly. They do synthetic lawn installation, custom turf installation, and with golf here, give you a golf green installation as well. Sign up today, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. That's right. Puck the Picker Majors Pool. Good luck to everyone that is involved or has signed up for the PGA edition of that. You can also, if you missed out on the Masters and PGA, you're really behind the 8 ball now. But you still can sign up, obviously, for the U.S. Open and the Open Championship there as well. Let's give you a round 1 leaderboard update. Again, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Tired of that muddy backyard? Get rid of it. Get rid of your backyard. My buddy, the Magnolia Belly, is going to call Synthetic Turf today. He's looking at options. Be like the Magnolia Belly. Be like Puck. Get rid of the lawn. No more watering. No more brown, green. It's not even green. It's going to be brown because you can't water it. It's too expensive. You got dogs. They're tracking in all that mud. It's pet friendly. Also, they do customize greens. I got a 3-hole putting green back there. It's beautiful. If you got a baseball or softball kid in your family, we take down the flags and we hit ground balls back there. It's perfect. You can use it year round. You can't use your lawn year round here, but you can with Synthetic Turf Northwest. Go visit them today. Tell them Puck sent you. syntheticturfnorthwest.com brings you round 1 leaderboard update from Quail Hollow PGA Championship. I put my money on Scotty Scheffler. He's 2 under 69. It was a weird day for Scotty Scheffler. It is not a who's who for the leaderboard. This ain't the Masters. Ryan Gerard Gerard is your leader right now. He's still on the course. He's 7 under through 16. Luke Donald. I didn't know Luke Donald was still playing golf. He is in the clubhouse, your leader at 4 under 67. He shares the lead with Ryan Fox, Alex Smalley, and Stefan Jaeger right now. Keegan Bradley is on the course still. He's finishing up his final hole. He's at 4 under there as well. Host of guys there at 3 under, including Robert McIntyre, Ramus Hogard, JT Posted. Again, this is not a who's who leaderboard. Tommy Fleetwood. We talked about Fleetwood yesterday with Travis Fulton and Jim Moore. When we got a preview of it, Travis Fulton was on Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood in the house right now, 1 under 70. John Rahm. John Rahm's been absent forever. John Rahm fired a 1 under 70 today. And that is, again, it's just not the best of leaderboards. Dustin Johnson is underway for the PGA Championship. He is even through 3. So is Ludwig Oberg. He is at 2 under, or excuse me, he is even there through 2 holes. I'm just trying to go through some high scores right now. Jason Day was 2 over today. Corey Connors was also 2 over. Justin Thomas, a lot of people had Justin Thomas. He is 2 over through 2 holes. Rory McIlroy coming off that Masters win, 3 over 74. Brooks Koepka, I put some money on Koepka. That was a mistake. 4 over 75. Phil Mickelson. He fired an 8 over. 8 over 79 today, Phil Mickelson. There it is. Your round 1 leaderboard update, Quail Hollow PGA Championship, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Go visit them at syntheticturfnorthwest.com. All right, let's get to Hey What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It's your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage with their property restoration services. They're locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com. Interesting little nugget just came down involving Washington State University here in the last hour or so. I know someone who works there, and I'm very mad at them that they didn't give me a heads up on this. Washington State has ended its long-term agreement with Learfield Sports. Learfield Sports basically is what runs the local media rights deal for the schools, basically the radio deals. And they have ended that, and I want to say that's been like 20, 25 years, probably. Learfield's been a part of it. And they've gone with Playfly Sports, which is Playfly Sports has dipped a lot into college, a lot of high school stuff, and they have now planted their flag in the Pacific Northwest. Playfly Sports, the company has announced a 10-year multimedia rights deal with Washington State. Financial terms of the agreement not immediately available. Playfly will handle WSU's media rights deal, ticketing, and premium businesses. The negotiations obviously handled there by Ann McCoy and Senior Associate AD Matt Zollinger, who was quoted by Sports Business Journal saying this was a competitive bid process with really good offers from multiple entities. The exact staffing change is yet to be determined. So I'll be honest with you, for the people that are on the broadcast, I don't know what this means for them. I don't know what this means for Chris King, who's the new voice, and Alex Brink and associated with the broadcast. It doesn't say anything in there about changes or not changes. So we'll wait and see. Zollinger, again, Senior Associate AD, this is where I find the interesting part, confirmed the school, with their agreement with Playfly, will add an NIL-specific role focused on corporate partners to its local Playfly outfit that hadn't existed with the previous infrastructure. Also, it calls for Playfly to assist the Cougar Athletic Fund, the fundraising arm for the athletic department. So, interesting. Very interesting. Another revenue source. NIL, working alongside the Cougar Athletic fundraising arm. So Good move there by Ann McCoy and Washington State to give more revenue for their school, and a school that needs revenue, right? And in a school that needs more money, especially for NIL. And here's the thing I like about it, because Playfly has gotten into partnerships here recently with Texas A&M, Auburn, Penn State, among other schools, Appalachian State. I think it's good to be with a company that doesn't have a big portfolio. You get a little bit more hands-on rather than Learfield that runs everything. You're let's be honest, a school like Washington State, smaller schools, they're kind of left to dead and kind of forgotten. So you get a little bit more attention with going with Playfly. Good move there by the university. Hey, What the Puck brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle. It's your restoration company. Again, to let you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage. Give them a call, 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Big thanks to everybody watching and listening today. It's a long one. It was a long one for you today. Hopefully you appreciate it. Thank you to all our sponsors, as always. Limback Lumber, John Howie Steak, Zogs on Fox Island, Hartley and Hartley Insurance, Georgetown Brewery, and, of course, Restoration One. Today's Daily Puck Drop up on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Please like it. Leave a comment. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. And, of course, everything up at pucksports.com. When you're there at pucksports.com, sign up. Become a Pucks Posse member for just $5 a month. You support all the free stuff that we do here, plus the VIP extra bonus shows that we're providing you, and it just keeps expanding. Our MLB Insider Show there with Ryan Divish, Sports Pit with Steve Sandmeyer and Matt Stretch Johnson. New episodes every Monday. Our brand new segment every week, Mitchy the Kid, Mitch Levy, Mitch Unfiltered, every Thursday during the live show, but then just for Pucks Posse members once the live show is over. And be sure to check out the new Graz with Gas Take 5 podcast produced by Puck Sports. New episodes every Monday up on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Just search Graz with Gas Take 5. And, of course, you can find it up at pucksports.com. All right, lengthy show today. Everybody, thank you for watching and listening, participating, all of it. Everybody in the chat there as well. Appreciate always the support. It's a Friday. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. We got Chris Egan back. Jim Moore is back, and another edition of The Scout. We'll see you tomorrow. We bid you adieu. As always, promise to be better.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!